Well, good morning. By way of introduction, you all know this amazing lady here, Kendra Phillips from Jackson Street. My name is Danielle Dinkelman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of not a nonprofit, Advanced Corporate Wellness, and maybe you've seen our orange hexagons over there, so I'm excited to get to share with you a little bit of why I'm hanging out here. We have been doing some fun and exciting things in partnership with Jackson Street over the last 3 months, and we were asked and suggested to share it with you all. So I don't have my clicker yet. Thank you. Which way? There we go. All right, Kendra, what are we going to talk about today?
Okay, so we're going to dive into what employee wellness coaching is, and using it as an opportunity to fill some gaps in our organizations to care for our employees. And then we're also going to talk about how Jackson Street has done this in terms of implementing it, working through getting it implemented, and what the impact has been so far.
Yeah, awesome. Please think of any questions you have, and if you want to shout out questions, I'm going to make sure that you're understanding what we're talking about as we go, because I live and breathe this every day and I recognize you do not. So by way of just an overview of what the heck are we doing with employee wellness coaching, basically we are making a health and wellness coach available to each member of the staff at Jackson Street. They have 61 employees currently, and anybody that wants to can opt in to the program and have a coaching relationship with someone who's helping them look at kind of whole health, whole life health. It's very individualized to the person, very adapting to what their values are, what culture they come from, anything that is specific and individual to them. And the scope of practice is very focused on habits. How can we help you put habits and a lifestyle in place that supports you in feeling healthy and happy both at home and at work. The program itself, again, it's one-on-one coaching. There's no group interactions. It's really about that relationship between one of my team members, one of our coaches, and one of Kendra's staff members. It is all virtual. It's all done either over Zoom or over the phone. And when they opt into the program, they get access to 13 sessions for the year. The first one is a 60-minute blueprint session. We get to know you, we get to learn what your values are, what your goals are, what you want to accomplish in your career and in your life. Really what we end up focusing is all of these things. This wheel might look familiar if you saw the wellness wheel packet in your folders from this week. I encourage you to fill that out. We're going to bug you about that later. But really it's this idea of if we are healthier and happier ourselves as individuals, we then get to do our work even better.
So why is Jackson Street doing this? For those of you that were here last year, I joined the center in providing a presentation on lived experience workforce and supporting supervisors with those who have lived experience as your employees. Shout out to Eliza and Jonah and some of my team. Part of that project has allowed Jackson Street to participate in some employee feedback. And we receive feedback from not only our employees, but our supervisors, where we learned that our staff would like more access to mental health supports, and they would like their supervisors to provide that to them. So everyone in this room probably has experienced some sort of need for mental health at your work and those sorts of things. However, when I really dived into that feedback, I got a little concerned about bringing mental health for employees' personal life into work life. That felt really messy to me. That felt like something that we couldn't necessarily always keep separate. We absolutely provide mental health support when there's critical incidents or work-related things. We also maintain an EAP as part of our health benefits package, but our staff are saying we need more, we need more, we need more. And at the same time, I'm sitting around a table with my supervisors and my leadership team, and every time we got together, they, just were a little more exhausted, a little more tired, a little more shrunk down at the table. And I was like, we have to do something about this. Our supervisors can't be our employees, therapists, moms, dads, housing navigators, financial support, all of those sorts of things. So we were able to talk with Danielle and say, what's the difference? What will wellness coaching provide us, and how will we be able to support our staff and what they're sharing with us as a gap in our benefits? So we were really able to look at capacity and staff retention and well-being with wellness coaching, and really be able to talk through what do we want it to do. We wanted it to have a holistic approach, because that's what our supervisors were dealing with, was this idea that our employees weren't just coming to work to be an employee. They have their own stuff that they're dealing with, and they need support with that. But our supervisors aren't the right people to be helping them through those things. So we needed to improve our capacity. We wanted to maintain our staff. All of us know that turnover happens in direct services, and right now it's happening a lot. And we wanted to take the staff that we're putting all of this training time into, and we see them performing really well on the floor, but then something happens, maybe in their life, or maybe something triggers them at work, and we really wanted to be able to provide some sort of improved staff retention. And just in general, we care about our employees, all of us do, and we want them to be able to feel good and find joy, and show up to work and feel good about what they're doing. So obviously that needed a new approach. We had gaps in our current support systems. Although we offer all of these things and have quite a nice benefit package for a nonprofit, our staff weren't really sure how to access that, what it would even do, or even felt comfortable doing that. So we had to change our approach around our current benefits package. And then it was really important to me to be able to stabilize and sustain our leadership team. As you can tell throughout this weekend, they're a pretty rad team, and if any one of them disappeared tomorrow, I would be lost. I might disappear with them, but it was really important to me that we do something to better support our supervisors and what was being asked of them.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so hopefully you're getting a good idea, clear idea of what we're doing and why. We're really excited to share with you some really early impact report on how the program has been received by staff and what impact we're seeing. Mind you, this is a 12-month pilot that we're doing with Jackson Street, and we're only 3 months in, but we have seen incredible adoption. 30 of their 61 employees have opted in to use this program, which, if you're familiar with your EAP utilization, it's probably in the single digits. So we're blowing that out of the water right out of the gates, which is very exciting. We tend to see in our other employee groups that we serve anywhere from 20 to 40% adoption. So the fact that Jackson Street is approaching, actually we just hit 50% because we had another person sign up just this week, is pretty incredible. It tells me that this was not just Kendra's cool idea or my cool idea. This was something that there really was a legitimate need and interest from staff. Beyond just signing up for the coaching, I'm always interested if people are actually showing up for the coaching. And the answer is yes. 96% of them at the time that I pulled these numbers have had at least that initial blueprint session with their coach. So they're engaging in their own process. They are helping themselves, which makes me really happy to take that load off of the shoulders of Kendra and her leadership team. So what kind of impact do we see when people engage in this coaching? Mind you, the skill set that our coaches use is motivational interviewing. So that is being modeled to them, which is really cool. And it's a really empowering and activating relationship to be in when you're working with someone like that. We have seen, let's see, I wrote down my numbers to make sure I got it right. For Jackson Street, those that have participated in coaching as a group, we're seeing an average improvement in stress levels, self-reported 19% improvement. Okay, so we've cut some stress. Productivity and focus has stayed level because Jackson Street already reported themselves to be really high on productivity and focus, so that stayed strong. The one that's really exciting is how much healthy habits have improved as a group. It was 39%. That blew my mind. So obviously these folks needed and wanted some support with these things, and they're acting on it, and they're seeing the results. How about kind of keys to success? There were some challenges, there were some bumps in the road. You all are probably thinking, I don't know if this would ever work in my organization. There's this obstacle, there's this obstacle. What were your thoughts on kind of what made this work well for you all?
I think one of the things that worked really well for Jackson Street around ensuring that this is successful is me not telling people that this is what we're gonna do. I met with Danielle several times, and I talked through what our organization was working with, wanting, what we were seeing in our staff. We designed some thoughts around what could be beneficial, what might help with those certain things. And then I took that to my leadership team and our supervisors, and I just put it on the table. And I said, what do you think? Will you participate? Will our employees participate? And 100% of them were like, absolutely yes, we have to do this. And that kind of shocked me because I was expecting a little bit of naysaying, of like, you're not gonna make us do this. But all of them were like, yes, we'll be involved. We'll talk to our staff, and we'll participate. Then we took it to our staff. We took it to every single team meeting that we have, and our supervisor said, will you participate? Will you do this? I plan to. And we had about 90% of our staff said, yes, absolutely, we will engage if Jackson Street adds this as a benefit. The folks that were kind of questionable about it were the folks that didn't really understand the difference between mental health therapy and wellness coaching, and they wanted more time to figure that out for themselves, as well as folks that were just generally upset about health benefits in general in the world, and that wasn't really something that we could fight as Jackson Street, and so we had to kind of help those folks understand that this would improve our benefits package in a different way.
I'm looking at the clock.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on that?
I'm a talker. The other things that I just wanted to share was that we have some Spanish-speaking staff, bilingual staff, and they had shared that they would participate, but they would appreciate being able to participate in their native language. And I took that back to Danielle, and she said, great, we'll get a bilingual wellness coach for your team. And so that's been really, really great too, because it's removed a huge barrier for some of our Spanish-speaking staff that have had some general lack of confidence speaking in English or working through things in English, and so they've been able to report back that this has been really helpful to be able to have a service for themselves in their own language, which has been really, really nice. The other thing that I want to talk about was that I did take it to our board, because anytime money is involved and it's a bigger check than normal, we have to get the board approval. So the board was a little bit like, tell us more about the difference between mental health and wellness coaching, and once we were able to work through that, they were 100% in favor of bringing this to our organization as well.
Yeah, so it was a multi-step process. There was a lot of education, but once people caught the vision of it, of what we were trying to bring, there was really, really awesome reception. I was telling Kendra, I could talk on this slide for 20 minutes alone. This is the stuff that gets me really excited about what we're doing inside of an organization like Jackson Street. So these are actually all of the things that between my team at ACW and Kendra's team at Jackson Street, that we are measuring these things. So over this 12-month pilot, we are hoping to see improvement and movement in all of these areas. And we fully expect to see that, and in some of these cases we have already seen it. Come and talk to me later if you want. We put a report out on our feedback survey, and there were some amazing quotes of just, yeah, the improvement in self-care and work-life balance is incredible to see. So know that this, yes, is for the individual, but it's also impacting the organization in very measurable ways, and we are excited to continue to see that happen. As we wrap up here, we have a couple calls to action for you, whether you join our breakout or not. Here's kind of some takeaways. Kendra, what are your thoughts on this wellness wheel that's in people's packets? You've filled this out yourself. What value do you see in it for you?
The wellness wheel is actually one of my favorite parts of the whole process because you get to be a little artsy craftsy. I probably spent way too much time picking out the colors that I wanted to use on my wellness wheel, but I was very excited about the end product. But it actually, I went into the wellness wheel thinking I know exactly where my weaknesses are and where my strengths are, and I actually had no idea where my weaknesses were and where my strengths were, and it kind of flip-flopped what I was thinking I needed to focus on versus where I actually need to focus. And that's helped me kind of I am involved in the wellness coaching. I have my own wellness coach. I meet with them once a month for 30 minutes, and it's really exciting because I actually have a 15-minute break planned in my day to go walk and leave my phone at my desk. That's never been something that I have done in 21 years at Jackson Street. So it's very, very exciting to include movement and a break in my day. And my wellness coach helped me do that. And I'm also reconnecting with friends and family because I can dive so well into work and forget about everything else. So going on adventures with my son, getting a new tattoo with my niece. We're gonna go zip lining in a couple weeks. So just putting some fun back into my life has been a huge part of the wellness coaching for me. And so being able to complete the wellness wheel really helped me realize where I actually needed to focus time. And you get a really nice visual that kind of helps you stay focused as well. And you can keep doing it throughout your time so you can see where your wellness wheel is actively changing the more work you put in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing your personal experience with that. As I hear you talk about that, I just think about sustainability. The work that you are doing individually and organizationally is only sustainable if you're okay. So please take care of yourselves. Beyond that, please grab this QR code if you want a leadership kind of discussion guide, if you want to start thinking about these things of what this is looking like in your organization. It does not ask you for your email address. I truly just want you to have this resource. So get talking about this in your organizations. It looks a little different in every team, but that is available to you. As we wrap up, okay, I guess, no, we're done. No, it says no. Okay, we'll just stay right there. There's just the closing slide. Grateful for this opportunity to work with Jackson Street and to share a little bit of what they are doing and the impact that it's having. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.